This video was sponsored by Incogni. Greetings everybody. For this video, I think I'm gonna let Josh do the talking for me. Okay, so there's this podcast clip that's making the rounds from Tom Segura's podcast, Your Mom's House. In this clip, the hosts examine a small influencer named Caitlin Campbell. Now, Caitlin makes innocuous content about her life as a cafe owner, and there's nothing really remarkable about what Caitlin does on social media. And it's not until you open her comments section that the story starts to really make sense. You see, Caitlin's comments are filled to the brim with just unbridled hatred for who she is and what she does. A lot of these comments are cheap shots at her weight or her fascinating outfit choices, many of which have more likes than the video they're commenting on. But if you continue to dive deep in the underbelly of Instagram comments, you'll find a lot more comments that are very aggressive and existential in nature. Stuff like, I fucking hate you, shut the fuck up, and the classic, blood's yappin'. Now, this phenomenon can be written off as classic internet trolling, but actually there's something far deeper and stranger here that's worth diving into. Now, you see, along with Caitlin, many influencers' comment section are filled with comments exactly like this. And I believe this represents a greater cultural shift of the masses unconsciously waking up and turning against the content that is enslaving their attention and the very concept of what it means to be an influencer. So let's figure this out. Now, first off, I'm not an influencer and I don't count. I'm not part of this. So it's actually morally responsible to subscribe to me and my Patreon. I can't quite express yet how good my Patreon is about to become. It's $3 Canadian. That will never change. You get full access to literally everything I do on Patreon. Name in the credits, private Discord, private streams, private content, everything, $3. Now, there's an immediate critique of this theory that I want to quell right away. This isn't just like people making fun of lolcows. Lolcows are a classic internet phenomenon where someone gains notoriety because they are uniquely strange, needy, and most importantly, unlikable. This person is then baited by their haters to say and do ridiculous shit, otherwise known as being farmed for lols. Lolcows have a unique mix of insecurity and narcissism. This is what makes them easy to bait. Some classic examples would be like Darkside Phil, Wings of Redemption, or Boogie2988. You see, what I'm describing isn't analogous to lolcows, because these people don't really engage with their hate, nor do they even deserve it. You know, even like Caitlin has a great sense of humor about it most of the time. And nor is this hate planned or articulated well. It's just blind and reactionary. And this is what makes it unique and existential. You see, social media is the collective unconscious manifest. The internet collectivizes just as much as it atomizes. A trend can hit the For You page at 10 a.m. and by mid-afternoon you can walk up to any young person on the street and quote it and they'll understand what you mean. The Bing Bong your life meme was so pervasive that it gave autistic teenagers Tourette's. And the algorithms are tuned to your specific tastes. You'll always find things that you specifically want to see. It's your algorithm. People are always like, oh, I hate TikTok. My brother in Christ, you are TikTok. Your culture no longer separates you from others in a way that makes you unique. Australian, Indigenous, liberal, conservative, white, black, we're all doing the same things. We're all doing the same dances and using the same trending sounds. Your culture may no longer make you unique, but it does make you marketable. This is why TikTok creators carve out nicher and nicher markets. Plus-size Disney adults, intentional soy boy, cocaine, just being a cokehead. You can now market the fact that you have a coke addiction. But let's put a pause on this for a second. Social media is the collective unconscious. That's kindergarten shit. And social media collapses culture into one big global void. That's junior high shit. But at least you're free, right? This is a tough one because it's like you are free, you're free, but you're not like free, you know? I like making money. I work hard, I make money. And when I make money, I save some of it, I invest some of it, and the rest I spend on dumb shit. But I sort of have to plan my entire life around making money. I feel morally obligated to make money. I don't mean like, you know, I want to have a good job and I want to wake up at like 8 a.m. and go to my good job and, you know, make a good income. I mean like, there's a large percentage of people who are foregoing having children to work the rest of their lives and as much as they can. People are foregoing like the one thing you're supposed to do on earth to make as much money as possible. That's where it gets weird. That's where I think we've lost God a little bit. And sure, you're free to make money. You're free to make as much money as you want whenever you want. But someone's always making money off of you. No matter how free you may feel, somebody is profiting off of you. I may make money from Google AdSense and VPN sponsorships, but that's only allowed to happen because they're making even more money off of me. Speaking of which, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, and my phone number has an area code that's pretty rare. So when I see it pop up on my phone in a phone call, I'm like, hey, my people are calling me. I am then crushed to hear it is not my people. It's the Amazon Customer Service Global Customer Service Center warning me that my package will not arrive unless I resend my credit card information. And I'm like, an Amazon Customer Service warehouse in rural Canada? That doesn't sound right. Oh wait, wait, it's a robocall, because my data has been bought by a data broker, and now they're trying to trick me out of my hard-earned money. That's why I use Incogni, the sponsor of today's video. See, here's the thing. You're not doomed to have your data held hostage by a data broker. If you just ask, they legally have to delete it. And that's a lot of work, you say. How do I find them? That's where Incogni comes into play. They do it for you. They sign up, and they send a request to any data broker that has your information to delete your data. I've literally stopped getting spam emails since I've signed up. Create an account, grant them the right to work on your behalf, and then just wait while all your data gets deleted. It's easy, it's simple. Here's my Incogni account. 37 data brokers had my data, and now almost all of them have deleted it. And you can use code ARTCHAD to get 60% off an annual plan by clicking on the link in the description or the pinned comment. That's code ARTCHAD, 60% off. Take your data back to the video. You know, it's nice that I can wake up and do whatever I want with my day. Quit my job, start a new job, change cities, start an OnlyFans. But this comes with the ever-nagging guilt that I'm not being productive enough 24/7. I can wake up and go live in the woods for 4 months, but that's not gonna make me any money. I could wake up and just master the art of Tai Chi, the subtle and nuanced art of Tai Chi, but that's not gonna make me a dime. And on top of this, none of us have any greater purpose now. There's no God to serve. There's no patriotism. There's no collectivism. There's no community. There's no ideology. There's no belief in anything outside of capital accumulation. Making money is the state religion, and existing to accumulate capital is just as much subjugation as serving the king was. At least people believed the king was a god. We all know fiat currency makes literally no sense. We know it's completely irrational, and yet we still serve and die for it. We exist in this overworked and burned out state of complete irrationality, and we hate ourselves for it. We hate that we are exploited. We hate that we exploit ourselves, and we hate the fact that every part of our personality and all of our skills are only as important as they are marketable. And influencers are the embodiment of everything tearing the human soul apart in the 2020s. This is why we subconsciously hate them. This is the true meaning of who ordered a Yappuccino. But it's worse than that. In the book The Decadent Society, author Ross Douthat writes on how a society that becomes decadent is by definition a victim of its own success. A society that cyclically reproduces the same culture, the same trends, the same fashion was once at the forefront of culture. And after its success, it becomes bored and tired, incapable of evolution. The same way like a 60-year-old tech CEO does trying to fight against 25-year-olds in an ever more competitive job market. A decadent society becomes stagnant and complacent. A decadent society is usually peaceful, childless, and in a very slow state of decline. And a decadent society does not deal with the same problems a developing society does. Crime is usually well contained, political unrest exists but is usually inconsequential, and the mundanity of life is only usually broken up by nihilistic outbursts of rage, like mass shootings or performative revolutions. All of which result in nothing. Nothing changes. Nothing happens after these things happen. They just come and they go and they're forgotten about. And that's exactly what these Instagram hate comments are. They're these little mini mass shootings in the collective unconscious of passive media consumption. Tiny blips and glitches whose only consequence is pushing us 1,000th of a percentile closer to the edge. It's like, f*** this guy, f*** me for watching it, and f*** the system that put it in front of me. It's important that we don't blame individuals for what we don't like. We have to blame the system that's causing it. When you see the chubby coffee lady yapping about what shoes she wore that day, do you hate the chubby coffee lady, or do you hate the fact we live under a system that coerces us to monetize every aspect of our lives? When you're 2 hours into a doom scroll session, and you tell the soy boy dating advice TikToker that you want to kill yourself in front of him so he's too traumatized to ever speak again, do you hate the soy boy dating advice influencer? Or do you hate the fact that you're 2 hours into a doom scroll session, consuming content that's so inconsequential to your life, you might as well be waiting around in a field to die? Do you hate the message or do you hate the medium? Do you hate the individual or do you hate the system? We hate the system and we project that onto the individual. Because these are one of those little things we can do that make us feel like we have control. When you're on your phone at 3 a.m. and you tell the sushi influencer to kill himself, it's kind of like spray painting a cock on the White House. Nothing's gonna change, but you felt a bit better. So when I say that people are turning on influencers, what I mean is that people are subconsciously lashing out at the system that subjugates them. And here's a solution. Here's a little solution we can all do to improve our lives. Just pause for a sec. Before you tell the chubby coffee lady to kill herself, have some sympathy for the fact that she's a victim of the same system you are. And that maybe if we spend a little less time on our phones and a little more time organizing, we could make some small but consequential changes. Just imagine this. If we all rallied for Instagram to introduce a feature that allows you to toggle off the Reels feed. That's all you have to do. Open settings, Reels. There's a slider, you slide it off, and when you open Instagram, you don't see Reels. That's it. That one decision would free up like hundreds of millions of man hours. If that was a thing you could do, that'd be a great future. That's the future I want to live in. Sorry, actually, I lied. I don't agree with that at all. Some of these are hilarious. Also, never kill yourself.